Hello and welcome to Trish's Cards and Crafts, and this is another one of my simple stamping on a Wednesday. This week, as I said, we're using the I can't remember the name. Where is it? Joy of Christmas Suite, and I'm using this stamp set for the card I'm going to make today. And I'm only using the stamp set, nothing else. I'm going to use the Noel images, the letters, and I'm going to use this slightly curved image as well. And I might be using these just to fill in some gaps as well as this one. Okay, I'm going to be using this sentiment as well to go in the middle here, and then on the inside I've used Deck the Halls, which comes from the other stamp set in the suite, this Christmas Classics. Okay, could use any of these because they're all quite nice, but I've decided to use the Deck the Halls. Okay, right, so let's get started. I've got what I did, I saw somebody had made like a card with a wreath more or less going around it, and I thought that looked really pretty, but it was a smaller size card, so it probably worked better because of that. This one, when I stamped it originally, it didn't quite look round, but I thought, well, we'll have a go, and I managed to fill it out with some of the other stamps so that it does look a little bit more round. Okay, so I've stamped to make a wreath on the front. I've stamped the Noel and the Joyous in the middle. I've got a piece of ribbon that's also available at the moment, and then on the inside I stamped that. Now I've used a piece of 12 by 12 card and cut it in half to make a 6 by 6 card, and I had some envelopes to match. I also stamped the image on the envelope as well, on the front of the envelope. I don't know whether you can actually see it, but I did do some spritzing with the Wink of Stella pen as well, so you've got a little bit of a glimmer on there too. I think I might change it slightly, not going to change the actual image, but I'm going to try and do a little bit of blending just around the circle there before I stamp anything to start with. Only just gently, and I'll show you what I mean in a moment. I am going to use slightly different colours this time, only because I was very clever, and when I cut this one, instead of scoring it, I cut the other half of the card, which I was going to use, in half. So I now only have a 6 by 6 piece instead of a 6 by 12. So what I've done, I've got a piece of garden green instead. So I'm going to use garden green instead of this one was shaded spruce. Okay, but other than that, it's the same, more or less. So I've also cut it down slightly by an eighth of an inch on each side, just so that it fits in the envelope better, because this only just fits in the envelope. It is a bit of a tight squeeze. So this one that I'm making today will hopefully have a bit more room to fit in the envelope. Okay, right, let's get to it. So first of all, I've got the card base, which I've again cut a piece of 12 by 12 in half. Excuse the cough, I'm still trying to get through it, which is why I'm also sucking on a strepsil. And then I've got cut 2 pieces of white card, one for the inside and one for the outside, and they are just 5 3/4 each size. Sorry. It's worse when I talk and I still cough. Right, let's start stamping. So I'm going to start off with real red for my Noel, and I'm going to put this in the middle. It makes it easier then to work out about doing the wreath if you'd put the Noel in the middle first. So I'm just going to stamp this. Okay, and we're going to put this in the middle and let it take. There we go. And I'm just going to clean this quickly. Because the red stains, I mean, it's already stained anyway, but just going to get the red off first. Okay. So that's done. And I'm going to close this up. And I'm going to use the garden green. Or I could do the joy. Yeah, we'll do the joyous part of it first as well. Put this in the middle. And put this. I'm using wild wheat for this one because I thought it looked quite gold, and I thought it would look nice stamped with this. So I'm just putting this in the middle of the Noel. Yeah, so wild wheat. If you look at it, oh no, it looks quite golden. I'll be able to cover that up with a with something, don't worry. I'm going to put an embellishment or something over the top of that. That one's covered. Right, now we can start stamping with the green and do our wreath to go all the way around. Right, just take those off there a second. Right, I don't know where the best place is to start. I couldn't work it out quite yesterday. So we will try again today. Got my finger in it, in the ink. Not doing very well. Right, let's try it. And we'll make a start at the top. And I'm just going to try and put it so that it's not going to be too close to the letters, but not too far away from them either. So we just keep stamp one. There's the first one. Now for the next one. I think I found last time it was easier sort of to do it like this. So we're going to follow on round here. The next one. There we go. And then the next one will go around here. But again, we don't want to be on top of the letters. So I'm just going to put that one here. And then the final one will go around here. So about here. There we go. There we are. Right, so we've got a rough circle. I'm just going to clean my stamp off a minute. There we go. Possibly my finger along with it. Come off. There we go. So that one's clean. Now, to infill them a little bit. Oh well, I'll sort that out afterwards. Right, so I'm going to just stamp some of these pieces of holly in where I think there's some gaps. This one is slightly sort of going to the left, so I'm just going to put this one on the outside of the circle just to give a little bit more continuity and fill it out a little bit. There we go. And then there's another one that's going to the right a bit more. So I'm going to use that one on the inside here. If there's any gaps that need filling on the inside. Just going to put that just here. Don't think I need another one there. Might just put one over here just to bring it slightly in a bit. Woo. Okay, right. So that's all of that. And I've also got the little one with the little dots on. I don't know whether you can see that very well. Oh my god, there we go. So we'll see. We could put a few of these in as well. Put one there, and maybe one just there. Might put one over here. Don't think I can fit one in there. Right, I think I might try a little one in here. There, that looks okay. And a little one. It's difficult to see when you're not on top of it. Yeah, maybe just there. That's not too bad. I might put a little one in here. Don't want to do it too much. And one just over here. There. And I might need a little one just there. Yeah, as soon as you see a gap, then you see lots more. Just here. There we go. I think if I carry on, I'm going to end up filling it too full. Right, so now we've got to do some colouring. So I'm going to be using, I'll put this away for a minute, and I'll do the inside afterwards. So I'm going to use some blends, but I'm also going to use some, because with the garden green colour, there is no blender pen for the garden green colour, and the Granny Apple Green would probably be okay, but I've only seemed to have got one of those, and I don't quite know why. So I'm going to colour all of the holly leaves in with the garden green marker pen instead, Stampin' Right markers. And I'll use, hopefully, the brush end to do it, and hopefully it'll be quite quick to do with the brush end. Won't take too long. There we go. Right, I'll try. You don't need to be too careful with your brush, your pens with your colouring, only because it's quite a busy stamp, so you probably wouldn't notice it too much if you did go over the lines a little bit. It's not too much of a problem. It's up to you, obviously, and you can take as long or as short a time as you like to do it when you do yours, if you do it. There's just a little bit of, there we go. Yes, I've not been too good this last week I wasn't very good, and it's taken me a little bit of time to get over this cold. Both my husband and my daughter managed to go down with colds the week before, and I thought I'd been taking plenty of precautions to stay away from them both, but obviously not enough, because I've managed to catch what they had, I think, and they're both a lot better now, but it's taken me a bit longer to get over this cold. There we go. Right, so I don't know whether you like colouring in. I don't mind colouring in, it's quite nice. I find it quite therapeutic. It's quite a nice, calming and relaxing thing to do, but not when you're trying to make a card, because you want to try and do it as quickly as you can. So this is what I'm trying to do it. So you don't just sit watching me colour in for ages. That's not the idea. So I don't know whether you've started making your Christmas cards yet. Obviously, because I've been doing videos and showing cards that I've been making, and I've been using some of the Christmas stamp sets, I've made a few Christmas cards now. I've also made some with some of the memories and more that I did on my Instagram account before. There's a berry Christmas one, and it's quite a nice set, and you can use the memories and more cards, and then you can make cards like really quickly and easily, and yet they look really effective. Hopefully I'm not missing any of these holly leaves. And I made some of those. I made a set of those. We've got a Christmas fair coming up soon in our local church hall, and somebody decided to ask me would I like to have a stall with some cards and to sell some cards on there. And I was thinking, I haven't made enough. And with Christmas cards, I try not to make things to sell for Christmas, because I try and use up my cards to send to people for Christmas, and then I don't have a lot left over. So what I thought I could do, and I am trying to do, is make sets of tags and things like that, and maybe gift bags and things that don't take up so much time to make, because I like to spend time when I'm making my cards, and I like to take time over them. And if you do that, you hit, well, it's not really worth your time and effort, because people don't always want to pay the price that it would cost for your time and effort to go into these cards. They want something cheap and cheerful usually, and that's not quite the same idea. I might make some cards, but I don't know. People, when they come to our craft fairs anyway, or our Christmas fairs, they usually want something that's not going to cost them too much money. So I might not be able to charge what I think that I usually sell my cards for. If I do sell them, they probably wouldn't want to pay those prices. So that's the only problem with things like Christmas fairs, because people want a bargain and they want to get their money, they want to make their money stretch as far as possible. So right, so I think I've coloured all the holly leaves in. I've got a shaded spruce pen as well. I think this is this is one of the older versions of the pen, so I just thought I might just go through and use this to put the veins in. Again, not going to be too, just try and go over where the veins were on the stamp, which you can't see so well because obviously it's the same colour as the ink I used to stamp with. There we go. So it's just going to be a bit rough and ready really with this one. And I'm not saying I would normally spend probably a lot longer colouring and everything with the cards that I make, obviously, but when you're trying to do a video, you want to do it as quickly as possible, just to give you an idea of what to do or how I would normally do it. But you haven't always got the time to take your time, unless you're doing a colouring tutorial maybe, to actually go into that. But again, you can do this with the blender pens if you've got the same colours to use for them. But obviously with this one, I'm using the marker pens for these particular ones, so they're not going to blend the same way as you would if you had the marker pens, the blender pens. I'm using marker pens, but it'll still give some of the outline that you want, just to give a difference in the veining as well. So you can see, there we go. Now you'll see the difference now between the the blender pens and the marker pens, because I've got Old Olive, which I'm going to use for the other leaves, and I'm going to use the light Old Olive to do the full leaf, and then I'll go back in with the dark Old Olive just to finish them off. And if I had time, normally I would then go back over with the light old olive just to finish them off afterwards, to blend it all in better. But I won't have time to do that on the video. But if you're taking your time to do it at home, you can go back over them again with the lighter colour after you've done the darker one. And and you can go and blend them a bit better then, and I will be today. Okay. I mean, another way of doing, another way of colouring in as well. You could use the pencils, the colouring pencils. And again, if you wanted to do more than 2 colours and get them to blend, you can use a bit of, you could use one of the water brushes to go over, and that will help you. Then you can blend the pencils together as well, the pencil colours. That's another nice way of doing it. So this is the darker one, and I'm just going to go at the bottom of the leaves and where the stems are in them, just to give a slightly different bit of shade into it, the leaves. Just at the bottom, hopefully. When they dry, they do tend to blend together a little bit more as well. Sorry, I'm still trying to stifle all my coughs. I've still got a tickle in my throat. Here we go, nearly done. And then I've got the real red, light and dark, or dark and light, whichever. And I'm going to do the real red light first. And what I'm trying to do is I'm just going to do a sort of a C shape or a U, or just to do one side of the berries. And then, actually I'm doing the wrong side, but never mind, do the top. And then I'm going to go in with the darker colour and do the opposite side. And I should have done the light on the top and the dark at the bottom, but it doesn't matter, so long as it'll give just a more of a rounded sort of feel to it, a bit more depth to the shape. And what I will do afterwards is I'm going to go, I've got a white, I tend to use the Sakura Jelly Roll pens. They're a little bit more expensive, but I find that they are a lot better than most of the other jelly pens, and white pens in particular, because sometimes it's not easy to get pens that will show up well. You Stampin' Up, I don't know whether they actually still do the white pens anymore. They used to do like a chalk marker. I can't remember seeing it for a while. I haven't had to buy one because I have got one. But again, they're not as bright a white sometimes. And the other thing you can do is you could use the white craft ink, and oops, there's one there I missed. So I'm just going on the opposite sides to where I coloured last time with the light, just to make it look a bit more bright. As I said, I'm going to put some white on there just to make it look as if the light is hitting the berries too. So here we go, just doing a little curved line just to make it look a bit more of a berry shape. Here we go. I don't know if you enjoy colouring. I think I've already said that. But if you do, this is a nice thing. You could do a few of these at a time, and you could do them while you're, well, maybe not watching the television, but you're in front of the television, listening to it maybe. This is one of the Sakura Jelly roll pens. This is 0.8 of a millimetre. And this gives a nice, all I'm going to do is just put a little dot of white onto the berries, just to make them look as if the light is hitting them. Here we go, so a little dot of white. So it doesn't take too long, and then we've nearly finished the colouring. There we go. So that's the colouring done. Don't need that pen now. So that's, we will try and sort some of that out afterwards. Right, so I'm going to attach this to the front of my card, like that. So I'm going to use my, I will if I can find it. Here it is. My seal, stamping seal. I'd rather not use liquid glue on white card because sometimes it can show up a bit more, and I don't want that to happen with this one. There we go. So I'll put this round the right way, and it's only going to have a small amount around the outside, a small margin. There we go. I will try and sort those marks out, and then I'm going to stamp the the card, the inside for the card and the envelope, and I'm going to put deck the halls again. So get my garden green back out. And put this in the middle. That way. Second. So deck the halls. Centered. And on the other card I made, I put some of the holly, just a couple of holly sprigs around it, but I think I might just put some of this in the corner. Just put that underneath a minute so I don't get it all over my, there we go. I'm going to put that there. It hasn't all linked up, but there we go, that's fine. Don't know whether I can get that again. I wonder if I can get it. Excuse my head. There we go. Hopefully that doesn't double stamp. Well, it does a bit. Never mind, it's done now. I could always turn it over and do it again. Maybe I will. And I'm also going to put a bit of this on, another bit on the front of my envelope. Just there. There we go, that's better. So that's just on the corner there. Let's turn this one over and try again. I'll put this on the bottom first. About there. And we'll do another deck the halls. Let me just see if I can get a better, oh that's better. We'll just do, oops. Oh, I'm not doing very well today. Here we go. Right, so there's the deck the halls. There to colour, to take that off. Right, now I'll stick this onto the inside of my envelope. I'm just going to see if I can get this out a minute. Put that out of the way, don't need that anymore. This is, I think I've shown on another video, this is a sand and rubber eraser. And if you use the sand side, you don't want to go in too rough, because it will take the surface of your paper off as well. But if you do a little bit of both, you can take some of the marks off. So there's that marks off now. So I'll just use some seal. Oops. Here we go. There we go. I think that's all pretty much in the corners, and we'll put that on the inside. Again, just a small border around the outside, and I've done the envelope. So all we need now to do is the embellishments. So we've got this little pot with all these different embellishments, and there's some nice little holly leaves and some sequin holly leaves. Whoops, I have a couple of these maybe, although they're a different colour, so maybe, I don't know, maybe not. Get that off me. There's a few different sizes of these little gems. Put that back in there, and I'll try and get a few of these gems out. Those will do. And I'll put a little drop, hopefully a spot of, I'm going to put one here to try and cover that mark up. We'll put one up here, and we'll try another one over here in there. Just try 3 of these for now. I'm going to pick them up with my, hopefully I will, yes I will, with my take a pick tool, and that should stay there. This one up here, and this one needed to be on the other side. Turn it over, there we go, go on there. There we go. So I've got those. Don't know. I think that should be okay. Maybe try and get one more. I'll just put one over here. I like it. I don't know. I think it's better to have just one more. Make it a bit more symmetrical. Doesn't have to be in a triangle for this one, I don't think. So put one up here. If I can get it to stick. There we go. So we got 4 of those. Could put something there, but might do that afterwards if I can't get rid of that mark. So all I want now is my bow. I've got this gold spotty ribbon. This is I think an online exclusive ribbon, so I'm just going to try and make a small bow with this. It's quite stiff, which is why I'm not so fussed on this ribbon, but this is how I do my bows. But the only thing is I want to try and get that turned round. This is good. This is where we have a little bit more of a problem with these ribbons. Sometimes they don't always want to twist around, because it's not double-sided, it's only got the pattern on the one side, so you need to try and fiddle with it a little bit more than you would do otherwise. If it was just a plain red ribbon, it would be so much easier because it wouldn't matter whether one side is the right way or the wrong way. There we go. So now I've got just make this one a bit smaller. I've got my ribbon, my bow tied. I'm going to make that one a bit smaller. There we go. So it does tend to stay put where you put it. That's one thing about it. So I'm going to cut that there, and I'll cut this one. How is that twisted? Right. And I want to pull this one down here so we can get it there. And I'm going to make that one go that way. There we go. So we've got there. Right. And then I'll just put this, find a glue dot, a mini glue dot to put this on with. Excuse my arm. Got my glue dots. I'll try and use 2 of these just to make sure it doesn't come off. It's nice and secure. There we go. Those out of the way, and we'll put that top of our circle. If it doesn't want to stay at all, you can always use a glue dot underneath the arms or legs of the ribbon to get them to stay as well. So there's my finished card. There we go. So I will try and do something about that. And there's the other colour cardway, the other colourway I used to make the card. So we've got the garden green on this one and the shaded spruce on this one. Okay. And for these when I use those, I still use the old olive to colour these leaves in, but I used, I think it was the shaded spruce. Away now. Yeah, light and dark shaded spruce to colour the others in on that one. But and I obviously used the blender pens for this one and the marker pens for that one. So there we go. Thank you very much for sticking with me if you managed to. Hopefully if you get this set of cards, you might like to make your own wreath card. If you do, that would be great. If you do, maybe you could put a photo in the comments, or send me a photo maybe of your card that you've made. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, perhaps you could give me a thumbs up, and if you want to subscribe to my channel, you can do so, and then you'll be notified if you click on the little bell icon whenever I put up a new video. If not, hopefully I will see you again on Friday. I will be doing a live on Facebook on Friday, but I will also then post it onto YouTube as well, so you'll be able to see it on YouTube. Hopefully I'll be able to do that on Friday night too, and then I will also see you again on Sunday for my Stepped Up on Sunday with this sweet again. Okay, thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.